YouTube, how are you? It's Jay here again with another beer review. The few of you that watched my first review, and the few of you who are watching this review and also watched my last review, will know that I spoke about having a Stella Artois chalice that I was going to drink out of. Yeah, I broke it already. Cleaning it after the last beer review. And it's really thin glass. I should have known it was eventually going to break. So we'll do something a little bit more hefty. I have a Dave and Buster's tumbler here that pretty solid stuff. So today I'm going to be looking at my other Yuengling beer from my case that I got, which is Yuengling's Lord Chesterfield Ale. Lord Chesterfield Ale. So Beer Advocate rates this beer pretty effing bad. Poor out of 586 ratings. The average rating is 2.94. I'm not sure how they do their ratings per se. But yeah, so not really looking at anything good here. But I do notice that, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, it just basically, it's kind of a standard ale, it looks like. Obviously, let's see if we can talk about the bottle. It's a green bottle, obviously. It looks like the same color that they use for the traditional lager. As you can see, it's pretty cold. I just pulled it out of the fridge. So we're going to open this bad boy up, and we're going to get some smell characteristics out of it and see what we can tell here. Wow. Well, definitely, it doesn't smell too hoppy, but you do definitely smell the grain type. It actually smells a lot like traditional lager, but I don't know, maybe that's just because the bottle? I'm not sure, but you definitely have a distinctive feel there. Okay. So, obviously it's quite golden, as you can see. I got about a good finger ahead there. Hi, Duncan. Smell now, it definitely smells a little bit more carbonated than the Black and Tan did. Kind of a light smell. Corn? I'm not really sure. Pretty standard. Let's go into the taste and see what we taste here. Definitely corn. Hardly any sweetness. Very, you can taste the grains are starting to hit now. Bready. It's like a farm. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Alcohol wise, there's definitely a little bit more of a kick that you can taste with this beer than with the Black and Tan. I believe the alcohol by volume is close to 5.5. So, you know, definitely a little bit more kick to this one. Taste wise, I don't know. I mean, it's not terrible. Aftertaste wise, there's a little bit of that metallic aftertaste that goes into it. Carbonation's a little much for me, I guess you could say. It's definitely high. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like it's really hard to explain. It's almost like it's got Heineken characteristics, I guess you could say. It tastes if you're familiar with Heineken, which most people are, it definitely tastes a little bit like Heineken. But you could definitely, I guess maybe because Heineken's getting shipped from overseas, this one's local beer. So you're getting a much fresher experience with the aromas and with the just with the grains and everything else. And it seems to me like it's a pretty solid ale. I mean, it's not the best, but it's not terrible. I'll have to look up the history of Lord Chesterfield and who Mr. Chesterfield is. I don't know if you can see that real good. That's Lord Chesterfield. I don't know who he is, but so I guess we'll rate this one. Let's give it. I'm wrestling between 3 stars and 3.5 stars. Let's just do 3 stars out of 5. It's a solid beer. It's not. It's not anything to write home about, but it's a beer that I could drink and not hate. And I guess that in the end, that's really what it's all about. It's not a beer that knocks me out, but it does the job. I'm starting to realize why the other Yuengling brands are not as popular as the traditional lager, though, because I really haven't tasted anything else that even comes close to that beer. I mean, if you want to talk about a 5-star beer, that's it, especially when you get it like really fresh. So, yeah. So that's Lord Chesterfield Ale. On a side note, real quick, I just wanted to talk about another rule that I thought of for this. I've had a lot of beer over my life, a lot of different kind of beers. Not to say, oh, I'm a drunk. No, I'm just saying I've had a lot of beers, tried a lot of beers. I want to try to do as many beers that I've never had before. Obviously, the first instinct that you get when you're trying a beer is important. So I think me bringing that across in these videos will be good because I can give you my honest opinion right off the bat. If I like it, if I don't like it. Because a lot of times if you have a beer for a long time, if you drink a beer a lot of times, like hundreds of times, I don't know, whatever. Like if you buy a case of beer, by the time you get to the end of the case, you're actually starting to like it a little bit, or just get used to it. So I think this way we can keep it mostly beers that I've never had before, or maybe very rarely, or I haven't had them in years, something like that. We'll keep it to very kind of interesting, different beers, and we'll kind of journey together, me and you, my viewers of my beer reviews, which will number in the several dozens, I'm sure. But until the next time, thanks a lot for watching if you are, and we'll catch you in beer review number 3. Have a good one.